Around 1157 BC, in the middle of building tombs for pharaohs, a group of highly skilled Egyptian workers did something that had never been formally recorded before in human history. They put down their tools, and they simply refused to work. And here's the detail that makes this genuinely funny. 3,000 years later, they weren't striking over pay, or safety, or hours. They were striking because the beer hadn't shown up. Stay with me, though, because once you understand why beer mattered this much, this stops being a joke and starts being one of the most important labor stories in human history. In ancient Egypt, beer wasn't a treat. It was currency. Skilled tomb workers at the village of Deir el-Medina were paid in fixed rations, grain, bread, and beer, delivered to them on a strict schedule by the state, in place of coined money. And the ration was substantial. Some estimates put it at several liters of beer a day per worker, though it was a thick, nutritious, low-alcohol brew, closer to a meal than a drink. Miss that delivery, and you hadn't just lost a treat. You'd lost your wage. So, the payment was late. What did they actually do about it? Here's the astonishing part. We don't have to guess what happened, because the scribes at Deir el-Medina wrote everything down. This was a literate community of specialists, and their daily records, who worked, who didn't, and exactly why, survive on papyrus and broken pottery to this day. One surviving record states plainly that the workers crossed the walls of the royal necropolis and sat down, refusing to return, because they had not received their rations. It's about as close to a modern strike report as you'll find anywhere in the ancient world. And here's the part that should genuinely surprise you. It worked. The records show local officials scrambling to find rations, appealing to temple storehouses, and eventually delivering what was owed. The strike didn't just happen. It succeeded. And it wasn't a one-off. The same community staged further work stoppages in the years that followed, whenever payments were delayed, meaning these weren't isolated outbursts. They were a community that had learned and remembered that withholding labor got results. This matters because these weren't unskilled laborers with no leverage. The workers of Deir el-Medina were elite specialists, sculptors, painters, and stonemasons capable of decorating a pharaoh's eternal resting place. Precisely the kind of skilled workforce that's hardest to simply replace. Deir el-Medina itself is remarkable for exactly this reason. It was a state-planned village built specifically to house these workers, close enough to the royal tombs to protect the secrecy of their location, meaning the entire settlement's economy ran on this ration system, and everyone there understood exactly how much leverage that gave them collectively. But here's the detail that actually gives me chills about this whole story. Because of exactly how well they documented it, we can be remarkably precise about something most people assume is impossible to know. We can date this strike, from surviving records, to the 29th year of the reign of Ramesses III, which lines up to around 1157 BC. That means we know, with genuine historical precision, the approximate month a group of workers stood up for fair pay, over 3,000 years ago. Most modern labor disputes aren't documented this well. Here's the honest reframe. This wasn't a footnote about beer. It was ordinary people, 3,000 years before unions had a name, discovering the exact same lesson every labor movement since has rediscovered, that withheld labor is leverage, and organized people asking together get answered faster than one person asking alone. So next time someone tells you collective bargaining is a modern invention, you can tell them about a village of tomb painters in 1157 BC who sat down, crossed their arms, and simply waited for their beer. And got it. The world's first recorded strike. Over beer. And it worked. Hit subscribe. Next time we're digging up another thing from the ancient world nobody told you about. See you there.